just spent 40 grand
I
on
got
podcast
like
equipment.
3 top of the line cameras, or 4 top of the line.
You trying to be Joe Rogan?
I got the lighting for up lights, all the ones on the floor, like everything. I got the mixers and all that stuff. Like I did everything.
Wow.
Mics, I got 4 mics.
So who guided you on all these purchases? Like, how did you know what to purchase?
So one of my
YouTube?
one of my homeboys does he has his own like production company that he does or whatever. And he was like, all right, this is the list of stuff that you're gonna need. He was like, and then I'll come and set everything up for you for free.
Wow.
And he was like, I'll do all the editing and everything.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's the part that costs the most money. Like getting somebody to edit all this shit. He was like, I'll come do the editing. He was like, I'll do the running show for you. Everything.
Yeah.
I was like, that.
I mean, that I don't know. That's expensive.
Yeah,
some good friends.
He was like, because he wants to be a part of it. Like he want to do business with me. So he's like, look, it's like we could do business together. He was like, I'll come and do all this shit for you.
Yeah.
And then I started kind of like doing some work with Tidal League too. That's what actually slowed me down.
Tidal League.
That's what slowed my process down. Because Tidal League wanted me to be the chief brand officer for them.
Really? that like you talk with like Theo Pinson about that? Or Theo's one of the shows.
He's just one of the shows. Yeah, Kurt and Hung. Yeah, they offered me this crazy deal, but I haven't took it yet because I've been doing so many other things.
Okay.
But I've been helping them. They actually moved here.
Really? To Dallas?
They're Toronto. They used to be Toronto based.
Oh wow, okay.
So now they just moved to Dallas, and I've been helping them with the Frisco Economic Development Department, finding them office space. They probably be right across the street.
Wow.
Like I put them.
Why did they move here?
Because it's centralized for them to get wherever they need to get to. And so they were gonna move downtown. I told them, no, don't move downtown. Move to Frisco. It's growing. Like it's gonna be crazy. All the athletes are moving out here.
Yeah.
You'll be able to get all your content done. And I was like, meet with Plug and Play. And they just opened up their own office with a whole bunch of free office space over there.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, and they might cut you a check and invest into y'all.
That's crazy.
And so I basically set up them for success.
Damn.
So, but I'm literally gonna they offered me the chief brand officer spot, but I just ain't had time to really take it.
I'm not surprised.
And they gave me a crazy deal on the investment, dumb low valuation. So I was just like,
you want to add that in the Reform Ventures portfolio?
Probably. But I've been working literally. I've been working close with Kurt and kind of just me and him. I've been holding his hand along the way of their whole little move here and piecing them together with all the business people and helping them do shows and all that stuff, just kind of behind the scenes.
Damn. So you've been really helpful.
Literally, when I say
yeah,
half of the stuff that they have done in the last 3 or 4 months, as far as moving here and getting set up.
Yeah.
I've literally pieced a lot of that stuff together.
That's crazy. We're rolling, right? Yeah, we're rolling. Thad Young, everyone. 15-year NBA vet. And are we done? Or
17 year NBA.
17 year, sorry. 17-year NBA vet.
Years,
Forgive me, it was the tequila sunrise.
Yeah, but no, we're not done. We're still moving along. Train is still going, still working out every day. So
you still got it.
Yeah. So just kind of, just going through the motions, going through the flow right now.
Yeah. But obviously everyone knows you as the hooper. I've gotten to know you as someone who's been an incredible figure in sort of our world, the athlete investing space. But I think you've passed the point where it's you're an athlete investor. You're just someone who's in a lot of good shit. And I'm like, how the hell do you get in this stuff? That makes me mad. It doesn't make me mad, but it's how, Yeah,
just partnerships and creating a lot of relationships. I think that's one of the biggest things. We're in a relationship space, and with me having a lot of relationships, it kind of puts me in these different places. But it doesn't hurt that I do have a little bit of knowledge in a lot of different areas as well. So, I've been fortunate and blessed enough to meet a lot of different people and to form a lot of partnerships and relationships.
You are a repeat guest
Mhm.
and we're happy to back. I'm glad you're back on the show. You
Yep.
know, this is probably the best way to get you on the show because you don't answer your emails, so we're gonna
Oh
have to get
man,
you in
look,
person.
I'm a very busy person
I'm
with a
telling
lot
you,
of
I'll
things
come
going
and
on.
find you, bro. I'll come and find you. It's fine.
Yeah.
But you, I mean, let's treat this like you're sort of a guest co-host. What are you seeing these days in venture? Like, what have you been looking at? Like, what's been the latest?
I would probably say the latest is all this AI. Everything is just everything AI. Anything that has AI, you're looking at it. Obviously, like cloud services and cybersecurity, that's not going anywhere. Um, People are still doing SaaS products, so software as a service. But with all these AI components built into these SaaS products and API software and stuff like that, white labeling, different products. But from that standpoint, those are the things that I've been seeing as of late. I mean, a lot of people are still doing the typical generic stuff like consumer products and stuff like that, but you know, right now everybody just has this AI craze. It's
AI's
just
going crazy,
AI,
man.
AI, 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 and
And we're not talking about Allen Iverson, by the way.
right,
For those,
right,
or if you're not to get it confused.
right. But it's been crazy because I've seen so many like different deals that with AI doing so many different things, like all these different features and different things like that. So really, it's just a matter now of just finding like which one is going to be the one that really hits,
Yeah.
because it's going to be 50 different AI companies that do the same thing, but one might hit, and that's the one you got to be in.
So what do what do you think it takes to invest in the right AI unicorn? Because ton of these companies are raising at incredibly high valuations.
I would say looking at getting access to the cap table and seeing what one who the strategic investors are. I think, because a lot of these AI companies, you're gonna have some that's gonna fail because they're not being pushed and powered by the big VC firms, right? They're not getting the $100 million check. They're not getting the $20 million check. They might get 1 or 2 million, but that's not gonna be enough to compete with some of the other companies because they'll have so much more capital to kind of burn through,
Yeah.
right? And then also looking and seeing not just who the strategic investors are, but the workflow chart and optimization of what they're doing with AI, for future, because AI is continuously growing over the course of time, right? So, what is the future plans of the company on how they kind of want to, if they see a path going with a certain path that they're doing with the AI, how much are they going to evolve and grow it?
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest things too. Like, and if they can do it, have they had a track record in the last couple of years of like literally executing on every single thing that they've said they wanted to do?
It really is.
It's a unbelievable time.
You tried to code yet? You tried to build like some stuff with like Cursor or Windsurf, or is that too technical for you?
That's right now. That's too technical for me because I have so many other things going on.
Yeah.
But I probably can do it.
Yeah, I bet you could.
Yeah.
I bet you could. The biggest change I've seen since we last spoke was the shift in how creators leverage their influence.
That's true too.
And for me, I know we always talk about, cash deals and sponsorships and partnerships, but we've seen a big shift lately in my world, I'm sure yours too, from cash to ownership.
Yep.
And what I mean by that is now some of our biggest influencers and athletes are part of that category because they're people of big audience. That's what I mean by influencer. Are becoming the go-to investors, either investing in brands and taking good percentage ownership or starting their own stuff and leveraging, because it's a bigger long-term play.
I was actually presented a opportunity to invest into all of Mr. Beast's stuff.
Mr. Beast is a great example. Mr. Beast is one of the first $1 billion creators, right?
Yeah, I was in I think they had like a allocation of like 2 million or whatever, and they would like raising like check sizes in like 50K increments or whatever, or 100K increments. But like I chose not to because I feel like it's already like $1 billion company, and like how much farther is it gonna go? Like, but I did get a lot.
But then it feels like de-risked, right? So like I'm gonna play devil's advocate because I can.
Yeah.
Like, why would you not invest in Mr. Beast?
Yeah. Yeah, I passed on it. But another
Okay.
thing too is like I didn't have enough time to really do a lot of due diligence with, and it was like one of those deals where
And
like
you guys do heavy due diligence. You
yes,
are
yeah,
known to do
yeah.
crazy due
So
diligence.
that goes back into like what I always say. I don't divert away from my process and protocols and procedures, right? So for me, like if like I only had maybe like a week to make a form like an investment, right? And that doesn't really work for me. I mean, I tell people all the time, I've hit my lottery ticket 4 or 5 times with the NBA. So I'm not really pressed on that type of stuff. Like, if I put a, 50K check into, Beastables, you know what I'm saying? It's,
I
it
think it's
might,
Feastables, not
yeah,
Beastables.
Feastables.
Yeah, clearly you did
Yeah,
your diligence
yeah,
on
it might
the
be,
on what the actual product
yeah,
was named.
you
No, I'm
might
kidding.
be, it might be a 3 or 4x, but that's not real life altering money. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was more so like about like, all right, do I really want to invest into this and only see a 3 or 4x by the time they get ready to go public?
Yeah.
Because that's essentially what they're raising the money. They're raising the money for a growth, another growth run, and to potentially go public in the next couple of years.
I talked to a marketing agent of agency that was repping someone as early as high school,
Mhm.
looking at equity-based deals.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy? I was.
It's not. It's actually not crazy.
It's not crazy,
It's
right?
not crazy. Well, it's not crazy now in the modern day of entertainment, celebrities, and athletes.
Yeah.
Everybody now is like the way money is being passed around is so crazy to the point where like think about it. We have 17-year-old kids that are now millionaires. 18-year-old kids that are millionaires. So for them to go and take a 30, 40, $50,000 check or $100,000 check is nothing anymore. So what's the next thing you look towards? You look
Equity.
towards I need equity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because like I'm going to say it. I'm going to repeat what you just said. A 10K Instagram post does not move the needle anymore.
No, it's not gonna do it. Now, if you got you're in college and you're making a sizable amount on NIL and you don't want to touch your NIL money and you want to say, all right, I want 5 different companies that's gonna pay me 10K a month, or 5,000 a month, I'll make 25 to 50K a month, and I could just live off that and not even touch my NIL money. I can just sit it in the bank and collect interest on it, or I can make money on it and stuff like that. So if it's coming from that standpoint, then yes. Like if you're looking at it from a different standpoint of like, oh well, I'm getting all this NIL money and I'm just gonna, be able to spend, and those 5 to 10K posts, that's just a waste of your time.
You know the huge opportunity that I see that we're pursuing? So many of these companies that maybe they're outside of sports tech. They're like maybe some YC company
Mhm.
that is maybe $1 billion opportunity, but also has
Mhm.
sports applicability. Think
Mhm.
about healthcare,
Yep.
financial tech,
Yep.
ed tech, health and human optimization, all these
Yeah.
health products and health data tracking softwares for your health.
Yep.
And
Seeing more of those too.
yeah,
Yeah. Lots of those.
I feel like so many founders look over they discount the power of sweat equity
Right.
and making sure like choosing someone of influence
Yeah.
and putting together an equity package, even if it's inconsequential for them
Yeah.
to get them on board. Because I think that encourages more of a long-term brand advocation for that person.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, like what you just said, like I think a lot of people do discount the sweat equity portion. I mean, you see companies like I think this happened maybe a year or two ago, where what is it, C4? They lost their they lost their battle to Flow Rider. and
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
he put a lot of sweat equity in, so
yeah,
you're seeing a lot of those, like and I think it's a lot of other companies that's done the same thing as well.
yeah.
They don't value that as much as they should, right?
Have you ever done a sweat equity deal in your career?
I've done a couple, but
Okay.
they were cool, but I think it was the same thing. It was just devalued. It wasn't really something that they really cared for as much as they should.
Hmm.
We're out here doing a lot of the work, and the company's continuously building and growing off the athletes and different things that they're doing, but you don't want to kind of like put that in the limelight.
Sometimes what's more consequential in sweat equity is your like brand reputation, right?
Right.
You don't want to go ham for a brand and then it fails and then you look like
Yeah.
a guy who doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the risk for sweat equity.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you didn't lose money. Like
No,
you just,
no, not at all.
and I'm glad you brought up maybe a not as successful use case because we have to look at the downside
Yep.
with the upside.
Like I don't mind those type of deals. I just like the partnership aspect to be a little bit better in those type of deals. Like I think partnership and relationships are what makes everything be successful.
Do you feel like in your sweat equity deals, do you wish that there was more transparency upfront about your deliverables, like what they need from you for you to vest that equity?
Yeah, and but for the most part, like I think we as like team Thad, we put the deliverables. We ask for the deliverables,
Upfront.
up front, so we can know exactly what's being asked of me.
Do you put them in like do you quantify the deliverables as more like qualitative, subjective stuff? What are
No,
your because here's why I ask. If you're in mid season, you shouldn't be expected to help out a company that much because you're focused on hoop.
mhm.
But maybe there's some things that you can contribute that don't require like quantitative stuff.
Well, what we do is we make sure that it's not a super demanding task. Anytime we're doing a deal and there's a lot of deliverables that needs to be kind of like put on the forefront. We make sure that it's nothing that's going to interfere with what I have going on, or we make sure that it's not super crazy.
What's a good example? Give me an example.
Um, for me, I'm not real big on like posting on IG, so
Right.
like I'm more so like I repost whatever my wife is like really doing or whatever, and then like if that's something that I need to post, then I'll post it. But I'm not going out of my way to give you 10 posts a month. I'm not going out of my
That's
way.
not the way you want to earn your equity.
No, I'm not. I'd rather like show up to events, speak to people, talk to people. If you have like a show you want me to go on and promote, I'll throw the plugs in, do all the promotion, tell you about if it's an energy drink, tell you about the energy drink.
Yeah.
Why you should drink it, why why is it so good? Why do I drink it and use it on a daily basis? Like all those different things. But as far as like just sitting there by my phone and trying to like come up with posts and obviously like they'll send post this and all this other stuff, but that's not who I am as a person, as an athlete.
Yeah.
Like I like to take the hands-on approach, and like I said, if it's an event, like I utilize those events as networking opportunities anyway.
Yeah.
So I'd rather do the event than actually do an IG post.
Yeah. The question of the day we've been asking everybody is what was your welcome to entrepreneurship moment? The moment where you're like, oh wow, this isn't a game. This is real money I'm playing around with. I
When I
better
when
lock
I
in.
when I lost 200 grand in my first investment.
What was the investment?
You said what?
What was it?
It was into this company that was like uh I'll probably say a form of like eBay. You remember a company like the company back in the day called Let's Go or whatever?
I don't remember. No.
So like it's kind of like a sweepstakes type company or whatever. So like it was this like pink truck that would drive around and give away a bunch of free product from all these different companies.
Yeah.
And because companies was giving away product anyway. And so like they would give a bunch of product for this company to pass around, like gift cards. Nike would give shoes. You had Monster would give away headphones when they were doing the Beat by Dre's and all this stuff. So all this different stuff that they were giving away or whatever, and then they would have like this geotagging situation. How
Some
they
Pokemon Go type.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like that. That company lasted about 3 years and then kind of just dissolved or whatever and just kind of went away. But
Yeah.
they had a great concept. I think they just didn't build the product out enough. And then it was a founder that didn't believe in hiring a ton of people to do a bunch of work. And having a tech company, you have to hire people to do work, and so like they never really evolutionized the product. And from what I thought it wasn't the form of what they were doing from a product giveaway standpoint. It was
Yeah.
more so from a geotagging standpoint, and that's
Yeah.
when everybody was going crazy with the fact that you can geotag people and get analytics from it.
Yeah. Switching gears here. What are your thoughts on the draft? You watched the draft yesterday?
I watched bits and pieces. Bits and pieces. I
It
doing
got really
something.
slow, like
Yeah.
the draft. But go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I was busy doing some. Had a business meeting, so doing the draft. So I was bits and pieces in and out.
Excuse me, busy guy, huh? Excuse me, huh?
Yeah. So I was in and out, but watched bits and pieces. Watched some of the picks. I'm very happy for those guys. congratulate each and every one of them who got drafted, and the guys who haven't been drafted yet, because I think today is the second round.
Yeah.
Who haven't been drafted yet, just keep working. If you don't get drafted, but if you do, congratulations to those guys as well.
What team would you say you're like the closest with? Like, would you say you're
Team?
Yeah. You have the most emotional attachment to.
I would say I'm most emotionally attached to. I would say Indy and Philly. Played long time in Philly and then Indy, because that's where like I had the most camaraderie with the guys in the front office and the staff.
VJ Edgecombe, Philly. You like that pick?
I do. I like it. I like it for them. From a standpoint of like, he's young. I don't know how long PG is going to be in Philly. But
he might be out before we know it.
I know, right? But I think he'll be able to come in and play a certain role with the young kid who got
Jared
hurt,
McCain.
With Jared McCain, Tyrese Maxey, obviously Joel Embiid.
Tyrese Max, Dallas guy.
Yeah, so he actually is my neighbor.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Tyrese Maxey's your neighbor?
Yeah, he lives in my neighborhood. Just moved in like maybe a month ago.
You guys ever hang out, or is it more like
I've seen him running through the neighborhood a couple times, and we stopped and chatted up a lot.
Yeah. I mean, that's free venture game right there. You can come to the dojo and you got the court, right?
Yep.
Lend a court to the guy. Come on, man.
I did. I told him. He's like a little brother. He's welcome whenever he want to come through.
Interesting to see what's gonna what's gonna happen with Philly.
A lot's gonna happen. They'll win games. A lot's I will say this: the league now is at a place now where a lot's gonna happen with a lot of teams. I mean, we've seen
the parity's crazy.
We've seen what Boston is doing now.
Is that because of the second apron?
Huh?
Was that because of the second apron? Like, why are they trading?
Yeah, for sure. Everything's gonna be because of the apron. I mean, you only have maybe 5-6 teams that got cap space, because everybody's overspent on trying to get a third star, or they're overspent on guys that they shouldn't have overspent on. So now you're gonna see a lot of movement with teams trying to shape-shift their rosters to get under this second apron, so they don't. Because if you don't have a chance to win a championship, why are you spending $100 million in luxury tax, right? Why are you spending $50 million in luxury tax?
But the Celtics could.
I mean, they could, but their timeline is messed up now with Jason Tatum hurt. Your timeline is doing it now. He's not going to play the whole year next year, so he's probably going to come back the following season, right? And then, so do you keep all those guys and pay $150 million, a $200 million payroll?
Wow.
I mean, $250 million, a $200 million luxury tax.
Yeah, that's a lot, man. The second apron is a crazy rule. How do you feel about that? As a
I
former player, or a current player?
I feel like the second apron is crazy, because it really, in my situation, it really stopped me from getting on the team this year. Because
no space for vets.
Because if you sign a vet, you're talking about that vet salary, which is like $4+ million, might turn into anywhere between 12 to $15 million for a team that's a repeat offender in the tax.
Yeah.
So if it's a team that's a repeat offender and that's in the second apron, and it turns to $16 extra million, you're like, okay, now I just went from 150 to 166 for no reason at all. And let's, truth be told, they're not gonna be looking to play me. I'm year 17 and all this other stuff, but they'll definitely feel like I can help the team. But it's just like, okay, how much is that value?
Yeah, and not saying you couldn't play, because I think you can get out there and still ball.
Right.
But every team needs a James Johnson, Udonis Haslem.
That's true, but
Uncle Thad.
But another thing is you funnel between, because the way the rosters was supposed to be set up was you're supposed to have 2 vets on every team.
Yeah.
But instead of taking that 2 vets on every team, why not take that 1 vet salary and split it up and get be able to get two young guys?
Yeah.
For half the price, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's what it would kind of stop some of the vets from getting in, because you got guys like me and Marcus Morris, sitting home.
We can't have you sitting out
when we're more than capable of playing.
Yeah.
So, things like that.
You ever go to MBPA and be like, "What the fuck you doing?"
No, I don't go to that like that. Don't go to them. No. One of my good friends is Andre Iguodala, so I
Yeah,
definitely can't
I
go to
know.
them like that. And Sean Livingston. So I definitely can't do that. But I don't think it's really their fault.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you why I don't think it's their fault. Like, yeah, they put all this stuff in play, and all this stuff was in play for us to be able to have more vets and to be able to have like extra roster spots and
You
stuff.
given a really great
Yeah,
diplomatic answer.
but no, it's the truth.
Yeah.
Like I'm a part of this, right?
Yeah.
So with me, I'm thinking we're all thinking the same thing, but we can't change how a GM or a president wants to run his team. A GM or a president is going to run his team however he wants to. So they're going to come up with all these different strategies on why certain things make sense. From a business perspective, it makes more sense for them to reward their two ways and finish the season with their two ways as opposed to bringing in a vet that's going to cost them on every dollar $4. I'd rather pay the two way from
Yeah.
a business standpoint,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That makes sense.
So that's essentially what all the teams did. They just signed their two ways, or they signed young guys so they wouldn't have to pay as much money to the vets.
Yeah, that makes sense. You could have any company come by and pitch you their company. I know we talked about AI a lot, but like, what is your because we'll clip this. What's your call out for a company? Like, if you're building this, hit me up.
Can I go back in time?
Sure.
Shit, Google.
Okay.
Google.
All right. That was okay. And you can't go back in time.
If Google first started, you damn sure I want into Google.
Okay, that was too easy.
As of right now, I don't really have too much of a wish list. I'm taking these companies as they're coming, and I'm looking at them, and we're doing due diligence. And every company looks sexy now because they're incorporating AI and all this other stuff. So,
We're athletes and assets.ai now. If you didn't know.
Oh, y'all.
No, no.
I was about to say, oh shit.
Yeah.
So what y'all got going on? No, but I wouldn't say I have a huge wish list or anything like that. Like I've actually been dying down a little bit on just because there's so many different like
a lot
AI,
of noise.
Yeah, a lot of noise out there, and I want to be able to like have centralized and focus on some of the other things that I'm starting to work on.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing that, I can't be doing due diligence on venture companies and startups and stuff like that. I need to be trying to make sure I'm working on the operations side of the companies and the businesses that I'm starting.
Yeah. Before we get out of here, you got any questions for me?
Any questions for you?
Yeah.
Man, what you doing with athletes and assets, man? Like how are you guys are growing? What's the what you guys are trying to do for the future? And like,
did I tell you what we were? I have.
Like, you told me bits and pieces, but I'm asking a question.
Okay,
so
okay, my bad.
So I'm the host now.
Okay,
okay.
You're
the interviewee.
Yeah.
So no, what exactly are you guys doing moving forward with athletes and assets, and what does the future look like?
So we're building Doordash for athlete investing.
Okay.
So marketplace model where if you're an athlete or you represent athletes, because a lot of it's the representation will use it. Mm-hmm. You're able to now scroll through a list of opportunities and companies that are offering exclusive equity earning opportunities for athletes.
Okay.
And on the other side, companies can list their opportunity. And, I think at the end of the day, there's two things we'll be judged on. The product, is the product easy to use for both sides?
Yep.
Is the user experience great? Yep. But number two is the quality of deals. Is what we're giving to you guys really good?
Yeah.
And that is what we're working on.
So what will be the requirements for getting on the platform, which is
as a company?
Yeah, as a company. So like, is it going to be a subscriber base where you pay a small fee and you get access to it? And if it's a subscriber base, do you have to be an athlete or a founder or anything to kind of be on there?
Yeah. So on both sides, we'll charge a subscription fee.
Okay.
For sure. To be listed.
And is this open to just regular consumers? No.
Well, we're thinking through the admin side of, we just don't want random people coming and bothering startups. We this is tailored for the athlete. But we want to price it in a way where it's not taking advantage of the athlete, but also like, why would you pay that money if you're not an athlete? Because the companies aren't going to give you like equity if you're just a random, like it's got to be the right athlete. Right.
And then what about deal flow? So with the deal flow aspect of it, would there be, opportunities for like board seats or opportunities to, be a athletic advisor
Yeah.
and all these different things, these different features within the platform. Would that
Yeah.
be something that's
So
available?
so I would think of us more as the aggregation tool.
Yep.
We want to bring you to the water, and however you drink is however you drink. Now,
So you're just giving access to the actual companies itself.
yes, we
Okay.
want to be an aggregation tool for the sports industry.
Okay, gotcha. And then you give access, and then the guys be able to kind of do what they want with
Yes.
but it'll be through the platform.
Through the platform, you'll be able to connect with them directly through the platform.
Gotcha.
It's going to be hard in the short term to control check size, whether they get a board seat, right?
Yeah.
And we need, it's a marketplace, so both sides need to be happy.
Yep.
And so we won't do a lot of interference for
Yep. Through this, would y'all like start creating syndications and do funds and all this other stuff?
We've already listed syndicate funds on the platform. They've
Yeah.
actually been some of the most popular things listed.
Okay.
In terms of athletes and athletes ourselves, will we create a fund and support? I could see sometime in the future where if an athlete makes a transaction, we'll match it into that company.
Okay.
Something of that nature.
Okay.
But it's really for, we don't, our aim is not to become a venture firm in the next 5 years. We want to literally be a marketplace. So we want to save you, literally reform ventures 5 to 10 hours a week.
Yeah. So obviously you would do the due diligence, and it would be a process for them to even get on the platform
100%,
as a company.
100%.
And then another thing would be, would you guys negotiate discounted valuations for the platform? So
once we get enough scale and it's proven out, absolutely.
Okay. Gotcha.
And that's the point. After the Series A, from our data, after the Series A, almost all these companies don't want to give athletes equity. They would rather do cash.
Right.
And the sweet spot is to find it right before the Series A.
Right.
And so right now we're showing pre-seed through A. Mm-hmm. We're working as hard as possible to get in that A sweet spot, because we think that is the most de-risked but most highest upside opportunity.
Yeah, for what you're doing.
Right? Yes. Yeah. So we'll start with startups.
Yeah.
Because that's what I know best, venture.
Yeah.
Then we'll start to incorporate real estate opportunities.
Yeah.
And other stuff.
Yeah. And then do you have any because guys want to mitigate their risk, right?
Yeah.
And how you mitigate your risk is, obviously like being able to sometimes get into some of these bigger companies.
Yeah.
Where there be opportunities to dive into some secondaries, where guys are buying, shares at deep
discounts. Yes.
Okay. All right. Sounds like a good platform.
Hey, would you invest?
I probably would. Yeah.
Hey, he's not careful. You gotta.
I probably would.
Let's go.
Sounds like a good one. As long as it's built out the right way,
yeah,
and it makes sense for what we're doing as a company. Then, I've wrote checks into all types of stuff. So.
Yeah. Bang! There we go, bro. I won't hold you for too long, but this has been another great episode. Yeah. Thaddeus Young, 17-year NBA vet, still going, guest co-host, the athlete meets VC extraordinaire, equity over cash. Any other phrase that we want to throw out there?
Nah, you don't got. Nah, that's it.
That's it. All right. Appreciate you, bro.
Yep, no problem.